Let's kick off with the UCL, the UEFA Champions League, the greatest anthem. I feel like I should even hear that anthem said before we kick off this thing.
The new one.
The new one. Maybe if we hear the anthem, maybe see if it ginger us, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
See that background, the orchestra.
That's it. But now, the draws for the second round, or the playoff round before the second round, they're up. And let's take a look at the fixtures. But the major talking point from this has been Manchester City up against Real Madrid. That is the big one. That is the big one people are talking about. It's open. This one, nobody's going to call him now because the fireworks are going to go in this one. Because first of all, it's Sam I want to tackle first. Before we started this season, in May last year, Sam had already given the title to City. Even Champions League, Sam gave it to them. Why? They had a normal team. They had bought Savino, brought Gundogan back. Yeah. Who did they bring? Fear catch you when say, City go win.
Firepower, you know.
I think I agreed with him the last time we were together. That of course they are favourites to do it again. You can't blame them. Back to back, 4 times defending champions of the Premier League. Of course, your money won't be on them. That nobody expected City to be this poor. I'm not sure anybody has seen the future and said Manchester City are going to be this terrible, find themselves 4th on the table. And the fact that they were so bad, they are still 4th on the table. You know, and
that really
above,
shows the quality of the league,
it just shows you that.
Is it about the league?
The standard.
It's not even about the league now. It's just
the league is not competitive enough. No, that's what I was saying.
The standard we've put them. The standard we've put them.
About 8-9 games, they couldn't even get the maximum points, and then everybody is still crawling.
Fourth is not a place.
You know, there was a time that especially that Manchester derby, if they had defeated Manchester United, in fact, they were minutes away from winning that game. And they were level of points with Arsenal as at that period. And Arsenal were doing so well, while City were having a bad season. So I think it's just a case where the standards they've been able to put themselves, and all of that, they are a big squad, they are a big side, they are mentality giants in the Premier League. You see them in the season, early in the season, they're not really there, but they're just around. But when it comes to second half of the season, they go on this 16-match winning streak. They're scoring goals in every game. They are winning every important match, everything. So it's a fantastic run. And then you see them at the end of the season. They've won the title. They've won this. They've won that. And you question yourself, how did they do this? No, they didn't do this out of the blue. They were just very, very strategic with how they want to play this season. It's a marathon. It's not just instant. We saw Barcelona, winning games early as October and all of them, winning the El Clasico, beating Real Madrid, Villarreal, Valencia, all of this. And you're like, okay, please give them the Spanish La Liga in October already.
Shots fired.
Where are they now? Where are they now? They're 10 and 7 points behind Real Madrid. So it's a marathon. The league, it's a marathon. The season itself, it's a marathon.
And I think that's one of the beauty for the Champions League as well. This league phase, it's a different one. Seeing a team like your favorite. Yeah. Brest.
That's Brest one.
We are all ambassadors of Brest.
Of Brest, absolutely. And we love to see them go far.
Guys, let's talk about City.
Very far.
Let's talk about City Madrid. We'll get to Brest. Brest is playing PSG.
Paris Saint-Germain.
It's a home derby. When the home team gets to do the needful.
And it's a double header too.
Absolutely.
Because they'll meet in the league.
Man City, Real Madrid, is this fixture not getting boring for us? 4 times in the last 5 years, we're seeing this. Is there something that the UEFA is really looking at? Why are they always pairing each other? And this is we don't want to say these are the 2 champions in the last 2 years, and now they're going to be, one of them will be going on, however it's going to be. But I really want to see how Man City is going to pull through this. Because we were talking early in the season, how's Kylian Mbappe going to do? Yes, he's got over 20 goal contribution right now. I think he's got about 22 or so. Even though we're not seeing his best form at the early stage, but in the last 4-5 games,
he's been brilliant.
I think we'll be seeing a real Kylian. And this is the dangerous time for Man City to be playing them. It's too near, but because it's a 2-legged affair, I really don't want to push everything to Madrid. Everybody say Champions League, Madrid comes alive, but then Man City has also gone.
They knocked them out several years.
So it's happened before. It's going to be a very dangerous one, and based on for the love that I have for some players, guys, I need to say this. I'm not a Manchester City fan because this is
you don't need to shalaye now. You don't need it.
No,
so because I've got
we are familiar with your game.
Players, I really want Man City to go ahead. But then I was seeing the fixtures that they have. They've got mad fixtures there.
Arsenal tomorrow.
In the last 6 games.
You know what?
I think it's best if they can just decide to
We'll get to that. We'll get to that because we're going to preview Arsenal, Man City, and then we're going to look at February. February is a killing month for Manchester.
Yeah.
But let's look at the other fixtures across. Let's take a look at the fixtures now. You see them coming right up there for the Champions League, and we're going to have Brest to be up against PSG, Sporting will be up against Dortmund, Juventus will tackle PSV, of course, Man City, Madrid, Club Brugge will be up against Atalanta, Celtic will take on Bayern, Monaco will take on Benfica, and Feyenoord will take on Milan. Which one stands out for you?
I think we have a lot of teams that are, par on par. We've seen Atalanta, Club Brugge, and the likes. Some Sporting Lisbon. Some of these teams are not, far from each other. But I think Bayern Munich against Celtic is more like you're trying to.
Celtic even made it harder for themselves, selling their best striker.
PSG against Brest. That's of course one French team is going to go to the round of 16.
Yeah, yes. So there'll be a French team match.
We might just say that it's the Ligue 1 clash for PSG, and they should get the win, except if Brestois, or whatever you call them, except if they come up with a fight and try to say, okay, this is a knockout game, because anything can happen. But we still will not put it past Enrique.
They don't have a good record against PSG.
That's the thing.
The league,
so at least
they're not even playing on their own ground.
We're going to be seeing. It's a thing where they could have paired PSG with another team and Brest on that. So at least we're going to be having one
during the league stage. When the draw was played, it was already you are going to play either of the two teams because of your position. So there's really little
or nothing that can be done.
So now at least it's a plus for the French Ligue 1. They will have at least maybe one team in the quarterfinals, maybe PSG or Monaco. So I like the fact that we're seeing teams that are matched with each other. Toyosi was saying she cannot pay money to watch Brest and Feyenoord in the final. But of course, these are the matches we're seeing in the round of maybe let's call it 32 or something now. Those are the clashes we're seeing.
Playoff.
Okay. And it's not even going to end here because if you qualify for the playoffs now, you now meet the teams that finished top 8. So there's still a Liverpool, there's Barcelona, there's Arsenal somewhere. So I feel like maybe the Real Madrid Manchester is coming too soon. But they found themselves in this position. Yeah. They started really, really, really poor. City could have been eliminated if not for that win against Club Brugge. So I think Pep did something by he identified that, okay, we can't survive the season with Haaland alone. I think he was being too strong that, okay, we can do it with Haaland now. Haaland is the best striker in the world. But then he had to go and get a certain Omar Mamouche who will be registered. He got Kuzanov, got Vitor Reich. So I think he has strengthened his squad, but still, it's still coming too soon. Real Madrid, when it comes to the Champions League, form is out of the window for Real Madrid. Madrid might be poor, but they will still beat you in the Champions League.
Based on what you said, saying we can't go with Haaland alone, well, we'll see that theory, because I'm not sure he did that because of, we can't go with Haaland alone. They needed, extra, yes, they needed more reinforcements. And because the reinforcements he had were not firing. You brought in Savinho, you brought in Doku, but these guys, the end product was nothing to write home about compared to what the likes of Sterling and Riyad Mahrez were delivering at that time. Or even Jesus as at that time. So let's see, you're replacing your reinforcement with another reinforcement. It's as simple as that. You did the same thing with Grealish for Doku.
Yes,
so it's
this conversation.
It's his first buy in Man City, Claudio Bravo. And then they had to bring in Ederson. So that happens. You do make mistakes in the transfer market.
It's because he had a blank check. So no club has the luxury to always correct your mistakes with more signings, and nobody says anything or bat an eye.
But that's what Pep has also tried to argue, that in the last 5 years, they are not the top spenders. In the last 5 years.
Yes, they are
actually number 9 in the Premier League. But because they've spent so much, do you want to talk about Chelsea in the last 3-4 seasons? Last 3-4 transfer windows, how much they've spent. But yet, it hasn't translated to something.
Success. Yeah. But
all right.
I think
Man City
should.
Okay, no. So now, for investors, let's go through all the fixtures and let's hear your picks on who you think will go through.
It's
February. Level.
Before Valentine.
Before Valentine, so that you go day. Okay for Valentine.
I mean, one buy gift for.
Where's your boyfriend? Okay, so let's go through all of that. Brest PSG, guys.
I think I'll go with goals, but Paris Saint-Germain to go through.
And I'm expecting Brest to score.
Okay.
But at the same time,
but PSG to go through.
They play today, right?
Yeah, they play today also.
Let's see what happens. I think from what we'll see today, because somehow Brest will want to use this as a dress rehearsal to see how they face in the Champions League.
They know themselves.
Yeah, in the return leg, in the first leg, I think in September, it was a 3-1 win. PSG dominates France.
They dominate
so
that game.
it's not really anything.
And now Kvaratskhelia will be registered too.
Kvaratskhelia will be registered.
Wonderful.
But yeah, but I fancy Paris Saint-Germain to go
through.
But for
so
some
let's
reasons,
just look at who
for
will
some
go
reasons,
through.
I think
Not necessarily exact scores.
Paris.
Paris also. I think we all agreed Paris.
Yeah.
Sporting Dortmund.
This is quite
So
tricky.
Dortmund
Yes.
is having a very bad season.
Very bad.
And
But they
Sporting
changed
has
their
also not been good since
Amorim
they
left,
lost
Ruben
Amorim. So it's an even fixture, in my opinion, but I think Dortmund will go through.
And the fact that both of them
Yes.
changed their managers.
Yes.
What's the name of
We
this
have
guy?
Niko Kovac just coming into
Niko Kovac,
And then the other guy, Ferreira, who was standing, he was formerly the under-23 manager for Sporting Lisbon, but they had to fire him because aside from the whole love and everything, it wasn't working. So let's just see how it goes. If they can still keep Gyökeres, anyway, they're going to keep him before the transfer window ends. But I somehow feel Sporting Lisbon.
He can go anywhere.
He can go anywhere. I kind of feel Sporting Lisbon.
Just based off Dortmund's inconsistencies. Sorry, Sam. I think Sporting will nick it at this point because they found some form under their new manager, Uri Borges. I think they are going to do well. I think Sporting is going to play first at home, but in fact, Dortmund is like they don't have.
It's the way Dortmund concede goals.
The way they just concede goals.
But they are going to score, of course.
Of course.
They will.
For investors, just go for goals.
I will even fancy Sekou Guirassy to even score.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, the top scorers in the.
Okay, let's go to the draw team Okro of the season. This one, how many? 14 draws.
Yeah.
Juventus.
But they've been beating them now. The draw has ended.
Yeah, they don't beat them, Abi. Juventus, PSV. Who's going through?
Back losses.
Juventus who?
Juventus, PSV. Who goes through?
Go with
PSV.
Wow. I think I'll go with PSV.
I think I'll go with PSV as well.
Wow.
Yes.
No, definitely.
I'm not backing anybody.
I don't think so.
I think I'll go
Juventus
PSV.
will go through. It's a two-leg affair, and then you always have to look at this team who've got
There's
pedigree.
no way
And they'll draw one.
There is no
They'll draw one.
Nico Gonzalez to Francisco Consao to Vlahovic. They've got players.
So
that
what
can
have they
always
been
go. And now they've
doing?
added
Come on.
Kolo Muani.
And what have they been doing?
It hasn't added to anything.
So
It hasn't added to
not been
anything.
able to get goals. Now they've added Kolo Muani, who is trying to come into.
Can I ask you a question?
I really feel
Kolo Muani,
Can I ask you a question?
Paris
Can I ask you a
Saint-Germain.
question?
is going to go
When you
through.
have Vlahovic and Kolo Muani, who is the better striker?
For me, I pick Vlahovic.
Vlahovic is the better striker.
No,
Now we know that.
But then sometimes it's about getting the result. With all the firepower they've got, like I mentioned, Gonzalez, Koopmeiners, Conceição, Timothy Weah, there's not been no goals.
So I don't think there's anything extra that Kolo Muani is going to add to
I
it.
really feel
He left because he needed playing time.
Yes.
He wasn't scoring goals for even a Paris Saint-Germain side.
But
he was
it's
getting
because
starting
it's
best.
his first game.
And then he eventually lost. So
They still lost too.
Anyway,
still
the
lost.
striker does not guarantee you winning games.
Okay.
so what's your
If
essay?
your defender doesn't,
No.
But
The reason why
one
I'm
thing's
calling
for sure.
the reason why I'm calling this for PSV is because
PSV, okay.
if we're like saying, oh, we still have till March, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to give Thiago Motta time to balance the squad and see
It's just
where they
less
need
than
to.
2 weeks.
Yes, it's just
10 days.
after this league game, the next one
It's the Champions
is the
League.
Champions League. So it's coming back to back, and right now PSV are brimming with confidence. Especially the fact that
After beating
they're able
Liverpool,
to beat Liverpool. And I know you say Liverpool, they fielded the
young
second side or young side, but still those guys have firepower. They can score goals.
Look, the young.
Pepe, no, Ricardo Pepe. Ricardo Pepe is actually one of the best strikers in Europe. Ricardo Pepe of
Bakayoko
USA.
scored a
You
brilliant
will be
goal.
surprised.
His highlights for Champions League this
You
season.
will be surprised.
He
He has not really done anything so far. This is you can.
Okay, so what's the highlights of the old Juventus
and the
team?
old thing?
What's the highlights of the major highlights of the old Juventus
This
team?
match is over 2 legs. If you're talking about a one
They will
game,
draw
then
one
maybe-
leg. They will draw one
Okay,
leg.
you know what? I love
Let's
this.
go for
But
Let's,
anyway, I'm saying PSV.
PSV. Okay, who are you going for?
I'm going for PSV.
Okay, who are you going
Goals.
for? Goals. No, but who's going through?
Man, it's tough. Juventus.
Me too. Juventus. I'm going for
I think
Juventus.
Juventus will go
Going for
through.
Juventus. Okay,
Champions
3-2
League
there.
heritage,
All right,
right?
let's do very fast. This one, Club Brugge, Atalanta.
Atalanta is going
Atalanta will go through.
Atalanta goes through.
Yeah.
Okay,
Seriously,
If-
let's
if-
not
if-
see me
if-
not in
let's
the-
not talk.
I
But this one,
Atalanta is one of the best team in this Champions League.
Champions.
Unfortunately, they found
Maybe-
themselves in this round of this playoffs.
Playoffs.
Because they started very well. I think the first 4 games they didn't even concede any.
They didn't lose.
So until when they lost to Madrid, which they could have even gotten a draw. Until that last minute, Retegui doing whatever he needs to do. But then over 2 legs,
Okay,
Club Brugge
all right.
can't take
All right,
it.
this one, maybe we should just keep it. Celtic Bayern. You go end like
Celtic.
aggregate go reach like 7.
Celtic.
Celtic.
Whatever it is, Celtic wants to get something.
Let's add
find a way.
They should get a shock.
Tracy, you cannot believe that in your life and in the future life,
You know people
the next life to come. See,
I'll put my salary on it.
March, you don't go get anything. All right, okay, let's go. Monaco, Benfica. This is going to be hard.
Oh, this is
Very
going to
hard,
be a
but I'll
hard
go
one.
with Benfica.
I think I'll go with
Benfica.
Monaco. I think I'll go with Monaco.
It's a strong one. Benfica defeating Juventus in the last game has kind of shows something in that team.
But remember that inconsistency.
But that's not even the reason. For Monaco, they started the season well.
Yeah.
Yes, they defeated Barcelona
That's the first game,
because of red card and all that. But you see from even their league, they've been very inconsistent. And that's has always been their problem. Previous seasons, always like that. They have young talent, French, prodigy that you can use. But at the end of the day, a lot of them. You just find out that they cannot just
Golovin is still riding in the middle there. And with Denis Zakaria.
I think it's going to be tougher than expected.
You see, have George from Nigeria also, yeah?
Because Benfica is also like an inconsistent team. I mean, this was a team that wasn't a 3-1 lead against Barcelona only to blow it all.
So who are you going for? Who would you go for this one?
Monaco.
What are you going for?
It will be tough. And Benfica cannot just win a European trophy. I mean, for now. So I think it's going to be for Monaco.
Over 2 legs, who's going through?
And Monaco is playing the first
I think
leg at
Benfica
home,
will go through.
Benfica will go through. Who do you think will go through? Chelsea?
Benfica, right?
Benfica. All right. Feyenoord, Milan. AC Milan.
This is tricky.
AC Milan.
AC Milan.
I mean, they are taking Feyenoord's best striker. They are about to sign Feyenoord's best striker.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Santiago Jimenez.
Okay. And then just to wrap up, Man City, Real Madrid. Who's going through? I know we don't talk entire. Just give me who's going through.
City.
Who's going through?
Real Madrid.
Who's going through?
Real Madrid.
He's talking that. Who's going through?
Yeah, I'm sure you probably have an idea.
City.
Manchester City will go through.
See that much.
Chop knock for here.
I don't recall. For me, I would see when I saw it, I shouted. In fact, Sam sent it to the group where we are. I legit I shouted because you see, for me, I love. There's something about me, and I love competition. What I mean, I love seeing even teams that will match each other.
Yeah.
We will not forget last season where so the Bernabeu, they had to close Bernabeu, and that was showing a sign of respect to who Man City is.
No, but come on, it wasn't because of Man City. They've even closed the Bernabeu before that game against City.
We know, but
and because they have a closed roof, they wanted to use that.
That's what I am not doubting it now. See,
don't give too much reverence to.
Let me give one reason why they respect Man City. In my life, in fact, when I said following Madrid, following, I still remember that one of my heroes as a Madrid player was Fernando Hierro. Yeah. That was the first time I ever wanted to really get at. I've never seen Madrid play back the boss except against Man City. Never.
No, that's not true. Madrid packed the boss.
Where?
Madrid packed the boss against teams that keep possession. Come on.
I've never seen
Even against Barcelona.
I've never seen it.
So it was a different one.
It was against Man City. It was for over 70 minutes.
Come on now.
This was the
Every
plane.
Real Madrid versus Manchester City or against Pep, they always pack the boss. Madrid will never match Manchester City playing a tiki-taka or possession football.
That day.
Was it as worse as the...
That day.
What was the scoreline at the Etihad that City won the treble?
That's the. That was 4-1.
That was 4-1.
That was 4-1.
I don't think Madrid even crossed
their own. It was the second leg.
That was the second leg. But I mean, the first leg was the one where Rudiger locked down Haaland, and they saw that Man City wants to be playing.
And then Rudiger now got injured.
Which particular season are you talking about? The one Real Madrid.
No, that was the treble season. The treble season for City.
Which particular season were you talking about? The season where Madrid won the Champions League or City?
But there was a particular match
last season
was
at the Bernabeu.
I was at the Bernabeu or the Etihad.
That was last season. That was last season. I think when they played
over 70 minutes.
They did not.
Madrid were on the back foot.
Yeah, Madrid eventually went through.
Madrid went through. Yeah.
Even when they went to the
yes, Madrid went through. That's one they win.
They're always on the back foot.
Oh, Madrid went through. That's one why Madrid went through.
They're always on the back foot with Manchester City because you cannot go toe to them with keeping the possession.
No, definitely. But there could be some games that that one was one of the worst games you could have ever seen of a Madrid. Yes, there are some times that they tend to.
If they went through and that was worse, then obviously you didn't watch the mauling at the Etihad then. Because Madrid didn't even cross their own half line. They didn't even move all through.
Last season.
The one for the previous season.